Nintendo has brought the heat to E3 2019, and luckily they're bringing some of that heat back to those of you at home. They have started a Nintendo eShop E3 sale, and honestly, this may be their best eShop sale ever. It has such an awesome assortment of games. They basically went through and hand-picked an insane list that has both quantity and quality, and it runs for a week till June 18th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific. So that's basically midnight Pacific, 3 a.m. Eastern. They're saying save up to 50% on select digital games, and we're going to go through the most awesome ones. Now, definitely let me know in the comments down below which of these games you want to grab and which deal you think is the most prime. Now, these are echoed at Amazon if you get a digital code there, and they might be a few other places. I saw that a lot of the digital codes were on sale to reflect these prices, but over on the good old eShop, we've got Mario Odyssey for $40.19 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for $40.19. Those 19 cents are a little bit weird, but $40 is a phenomenal price for Deluxe or for Odyssey. Now, they have been at that price point before on Mario Day and probably a few other times, but anytime you can get two of the tentpole Mario titles for $20 off, it's worth the grab. Mortal Kombat 11 is down to $49.79. Honestly, wish this one would have hit that $40.19 price point, but it's still $10 off. Cuphead is a real interesting addition here. This one is only a slight discount, but it is a phenomenal game. It's part of that Microsoft partnership, and it is really great. It's quickly become one of my favorite eShop games. We don't talk about it all that often because of the fact that it is something we played previously on other platforms. It's not brand spanking new, but Cuphead is phenomenal. It looks great on the Switch. It is an awesome time on the go, and it is definitely a challenging one. You may spend an entire plane fight on one boss, but boy, is it worth it. Continue down the list. You got Tennis Aces, another Mario game at that $40.19 price point. Donkey Kong also $40.19. Now, I love Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Players were pretty bummed that it reached 60 when it released on Switch, even though it initially was 50 over on the good old Wii U. But this is one of the best platformers of all time. It is genuinely a joy to behold, and it has the challenge to keep you coming back time and time again. Those bonus stages are really tough, and if you haven't yet added Donkey Kong to your library, it's one that I think people kind of forget a bit about because it came out a while ago and it is a Wii U port, but it's straight up one of the best games you can get on Switch. We have Travis Strikes Again for $20.99. Now, I'm not the biggest Travis Strikes Again fan at all, but No More Heroes 3 was just announced at E3, which I am very excited for, and Strikes Again is honestly, it's not offensive in any way. It's a pretty solid game, and I think a $20 price point feels a heck of a lot better than $30. So if you are interested in more Travis Touchdown, if you're hyped for No More Heroes 3, and you want to see some more saving action while sitting on the toilet as you prepare for Beam Sword action in 2020, this is not a bad pick for $20.99. I also got to give a shout out to Unravel 2. $9.99, it's 50% off. This is a phenomenal co-op game. You can also play it solo. It's just absolutely adorable. I love it a lot. It's really pretty, and it retains a lot of that on Switch. And the little yarn mechanic with the two dudes, it's super clever. It's super fun. A very whimsical world for you to adventure through with a friend or a significant other. This is like a great game to play with a younger sibling, with a girlfriend. It's just an awesome time, and I think at $10, like, you're gonna get plenty out of it. If you notice, like, all these games, even the ones I'm not mentioning, are top tier, and a lot of them are kind of E3 related. Final Fantasy VII is here. We've got Diablo, Monster Hunter, Wolfie 2, Dragon Ball FighterZ. If we continue down the list, the beloved Celeste. It's $13.39. We've seen sales on this before. It's not a ton off, but anytime you can get Celeste for cheaper than full price, it's worth it. It's worth it at full price. It's worth it at double price. It's worth it at triple price. So getting Celeste for only $13 feels really nice. The odd price points, the extra cents, are a little annoying considering that you can only buy eShop points in specific denominations, unless you want to just get the game itself or add a bunch to your cart. But I like to buy the cards because they have those cool pictures of like Peach or Bowser or Luigi, and these odd cents always end me up with a really weird amount left in my wallet. But you can't go wrong with Celeste at all. Now here's a real interesting one. Crypt of the Necrodancer is $4. Now this is a great game. It's a phenomenal pickup at 4, but it really puts Cadence in perspective. Cadence of Hyrule is $25. It is definitely feeling that Legend of Zelda premium, and it probably should feel that premium. The game looks awesome, and it does allow you to play as Link or Zelda in a really, really cool Hyrulean rhythm-based world. But if you don't want to drop 25, if you're a little short on cash, or if you want to see if it's worth 25, because remember, Cadence of Hyrule is a really different kind of Zelda game. It's unlike anything Zelda has been a part of in the past, and it's not for everyone. So if you want to give it a test first, if you want to see what it's like, $4, that's like quarters in the couch money, and you can test out and see if you like what they're bringing from Brace Yourself Games. And if you do want to dive, $25 when that game releases tomorrow. We'll continue down along the line of Undertale, Crash Bandicoot, and Saint Trilogy. I love Crash Trilogy. It has been cheaper, so $30, it's kind of like I don't recommend it, even though I love that game and I think it's one of the coolest third-party packages on Switch. Probably a little too much. We've seen it at 20 many times. Doom, obviously, coming to Switch again. Thank you, Bethesda, beautiful people, for bringing your big games to our platform. We've got Stardew Valley over here at $11.99, Mega Man at $23.99. I'm going to move us down, though, a little bit further. There's Shantae, Messenger, Dead Cells, you see. I'm going to keep us going. Skyrim, Okami, Monster Boy. Let's get down to this line. This is one of my favorite lines here. Overcooked 2. I am the poster boy for Overcooked 2. It is the best game to play couch co-op. There are so many cool DLC packs. It is an absolute blast. They've added so much variety to the recipes, to the chefs, to the environments. The game is challenging, but not impossible. It's one that you want to replay over and over again, and it's the perfect game for anyone in your family, group, house, friend core. Even if they're not a gamer, they will get a kick out of it. It has that chaotic co-op competitive spirit where you're working together, but you want everyone to do good, and I can't say enough good things about Overcooked 2. It's $17.49, not the biggest discount, but considering that the physical edition is even more, $17.49, not so bad. You'll get your money's worth at full price, so hey, why not grab it at a discount? Here's an interesting one. Wargroove is $13.39. I feel like this game was so highly anticipated as sort of the successor, the new Advance Wars, like the second coming of our beloved turn-based military strategy, and it got really good remarks and reviews early on. People loved it, but I feel like it's kind of been forgotten, and maybe that's just in my circles, but nobody really talks about Wargroove anymore. Chucklefish continues to be a prolific and developer with a lot of prowess, but this one is such a gem. There is a ton of content here. You can create your own maps, you can compete in multiplayer, you can go through the solo campaign. It's really good. $13.39, you're saving $6.60, something like that, and it's fantastic. I think you'll love that. If you have $15 or so laying around, this is probably one of my top picks, if not my top pick from this list, just because I haven't seen it on sale as frequently as some of the other titles here. So both of these phenomenal indie games. And I love that Nintendo decided to merge indie with AAA. A lot of times they'll do one or the other, but here for this E3 sale, they really brought both boats together, and we sail off to glorious Nintendo waters. Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition, $35, great game there. So sad that Tales of Arise not hitting Switch. I swear they said the next Tales would be on Switch, but alas, it's not. So if you want to dive back in to Vesperia Definitive Edition, it's $35. If you haven't played it, it's going to still appeal to you in 2019. It looks good. It runs good. It's a fun port. You have additional content as part of the Definitive Edition. If you have played it previously, it's been cheaper, but $35 isn't so bad. So if you want it digitally to have with you all the time, not so shabby. Hollow Knight at $7.50. Silksong is coming. Apparently it's at E3. We're going to go hunt for it and see if we can find it. But $7.50 half off is really good. Hollow Knight at $15, great get. This was one of the E3 drops last year. Got to say that last year's E3 drops of Fortnite and Hollow Knight, stronger than this year's E3 drops. Cadence of Hyrule, I guess, still qualifies as an E3 week drop, so if that turns out to be awesome, then it'll be a lot closer. But as of right now, Hollow Knight really won me over last E3. It is a game that it's just nearly perfect. They are so expert at what they do from a gameplay perspective, from an art direction perspective, from a vibe and mood perspective. I can't wait to see what Silksong brings, but if you want to dive in at a cheaper price and get more Team Cherry goodness up in your fruit bowl, then grab that one at $7.50. Darksiders War Master. We ain't done yet. This is Gabe's favorite Switch port. It is Zelda rated mature, and even though it's an older game, they did such a nice job with the port and it holds up so well, it's still worth it. $23.99 to grab this one digitally from $29.99. THQ Nordic doing good work and putting an awesome choice in this game where you can pick between performance and resolution depending on how you want to play and depending on what you want to prioritize. It is very nasty, very violent. It's a little bit of a slow starter, but eventually you'll start rolling through the land, exploring different areas, grabbing a bunch of new abilities and power-ups, and engaging in tons of satisfying combat. So while you wait for Breath of the Wild 2, explore a different looking Link. It's Link if he was angry. It's Link if Breath of the Wild 2 got delayed. It's Link if Breath of the Wild 2 never existed. And it's also the first game in a trilogy that will probably all eventually hit Switch. We've heard Definitive Edition for Darksiders 2 rumored forever, and it's going to be coming at some point soon. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle Gold Edition, always on sale. Always on sale. We've seen it cheaper. If you don't have it yet, Davide was not at E3. Where is the mystery boy at? Gabe wonders. Gabe really wonders. He's behind the camera wondering right now. But $26.39, it's not the best price, so maybe wait till it hits 20 unless you're desperate. Phoenix Wright down here at $23.99. I don't know, Capcom was really showing this off at their booth, which surprised me because it's been out for a while. But you may have missed it. It was a really nice third-party edition earlier this year. $30 is a lot for Phoenix Wright. It's 3 games, but I don't know. They're 3DS titles, DS titles, and I just would rather have them be 20. So $23.99 is climbing a lot closer to that point, and they're still fun. They definitely have sort of that older handheld feel and charm to them, but I think you'll really like it. As they say, it's sold over 6.7 million copies. It's done that for a reason. These are quality experiences. So that is the list. There's also 3DS titles, which we're not going to really dive into, but some good prices there. I mean, I cannot believe that Link Between Worlds is $15. If you don't have a 3DS, okay, and say you're waiting for the Switch stuff, or you've played all the Switch stuff, going and getting like a 2DS and a bunch of sale 3DS games, like that is a really exciting proposition because you can get a 2DS used or on sale for like $50 sometimes, and then picking up a bunch of these games for 15. Like, hey, how many of these titles are getting new entries on Switch? We could kind of say that A Link Between Worlds is related to Link's Awakening. In a way, Animal Crossing New Leaf is related to New Horizons. For sure, Luigi's Mansion, definitely related to Luigi's Mansion 3. So there's definitely some interesting things here. Fire Emblem Awakening, but alas, we won't spend too much time. My top picks for you up here on Switch are Darksiders War Master, Hollow Knight, Wargroove, and then again, I think at any time you can get Mario Odyssey or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on sale, if you don't have them, you got to grab them. Cuphead is a good deal, even though it's only a couple bucks. Phenomenal game. And then one more here. Oh, 2 more. Unravel 2 at 10. Crypt of the Necrodancer at 4. Really good sale. You could just keep going on and on. There's plenty more games we didn't talk about, but so much goodness. Thank you, Nintendo. You're doing great with this. You continue to. It's just expected at this point. So let us know in the comments down below what you're picking up from this epic E3 sale. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video and love these sales like we do here at SwitchForce. We'll be back with more content soon. Until that time, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Have a fantastic day. SwitchForce out.